Hello, welcome. Now, in this lesson, we are going to look at some of the terminologies used in the field of data science, and this kind of also cut across business intelligence analytics. Now, I strongly suggest or advise you familiarize yourself with these terms as they are going to come in handy both in this course and even beyond. All right, so now some of these terminologies will be helpful to you, especially when you read data science blogs, articles, and even other publications that you may find on the internet or in textbooks. Now, I'm only going to cover a few of the terms here, and others will be expressed within the context of the course eventually. All right, so we're going to start with algorithm. Now, you may or may not have heard the term algorithm before. If this is your first time of hearing the term algorithm, well, don't let it intimidate you. An algorithm is simply a set of instructions we give to a computer so that it can take values and manipulate them into a usable form. Now, this can be as simple as making the computer to find and remove every comma in a paragraph, or as complex as developing a system that can make prediction or serve ads to appropriate audience or even control the temperature of a room. Now, organizations like Facebook, Google, Amazon uses our algorithm extensively. Now, the next term we're going to look at is big data. Now, this is a term that is fast achieving buzzword status. Now, big data is just what it is, big. Talk about over 1 terabyte of dataset. Now, big data usually includes datasets with size that are beyond the ability of commonly used software tools to curate, manage, to process data within a tolerable elapsed time. Now, the next we're going to look at is data mining. Now, data mining is the computational process of discovering patterns found in a large dataset. All right, so next is classification. Now, classification is a supervised machine learning problem. Now, it deals with categorizing a data point based on its similarities to other data points. All right, next we have clustering. Now, clustering techniques attempts to collect and categorize sets of points into groups that are quite similar or close to one another. Now, clustering is sometimes referred to as unsupervised classification. Now, regression analysis is the statistical process of estimating the relationship among variables. Next, we have database. Now, a database is basically a storage space for data or query. Now, we use database with database management systems, DBMS. And examples are PostgreSQL, we have Microsoft SQL Server, we have MariaDB, MySQL, and so on. Now, you are going to learn MySQL in a much later module. All right, so the next term we're going to look at is data warehouse. Now, a data warehouse is a system used to perform a quick analysis of business trend using data from many sources. Now, a take-home idea on data warehouse is that they are designed to enable an analyst or business users to answer important statistical questions with relative ease. All right, next we have ETL. Now, ETL stands for extract, transform, load. And this is really a buzzword in the field of business intelligence. Now, this process is key in data warehousing. Now, ETL describes the three stages of bringing data from a variety of places in a raw form to a screen ready for analysis. All right, next we have OLAP. All right, so OLAP stands for Online Analytical Processing, and this is a technological concept that is applied in various business intelligence tools and applications that kind of help in executing complex analytical calculations. And at the core of every OLAP system is a multidimensional cube that is often called the OLAP cube. All right, next we have the OLTP. Now, OLTP stands for Online Transaction Processing, and these systems are a vast collection of transactions that support queries like insert, delete, and update. Now, these are simple operational databases that kind of produce quick processing of a query. Alright, so next we have fuzzy algorithm. Now, these are algorithms that uses the fuzzy logic to decrease the runtime of a script. Now, fuzzy algorithms are usually less precise than those that uses the Boolean logic. However, they tend to be faster, and computational speed could sometimes outweigh the loss in precision. Now, the next is fuzzy logic itself. Now, a fuzzy logic is an abstraction or a subset of a Boolean logic that substitutes the usual true, false, or 0 and 1 associated with Boolean logic. Now, this kind of introduces statements like a little true or very much false and such kind of things, you know. So this is quite fuzzy, isn't it? Alright, next we have greedy algorithms. Hey, don't get strange ideas about the use of the word greedy here. Now, what a greedy algorithm does is to break down a problem into a series of steps, and then it will look for the best possible solution at each step, aiming to find the overall best solution available. Now, this is quite a good grade, don't you think so? Right, next we have overfitting. Now, overfitting is a phenomenon where a model matches the training data almost perfectly, but then does poorly in validation and other new data. Now, it's a lot like asking a friend to read a passage on a page while looking at the page through a microscope. Now, generally speaking, in overfitting, the patterns that enable understanding disappears in the noise. Alright, so we have the neural network. Now, this is a machine learning method that is very loosely based on neural connections in the brain. Now, neural networks are a system of connected nodes that are segmented into layers, usually 3 layers. We have the input layer, the output layer, and the hidden layers. Now, the hidden layers are usually the heavy lifters used to make prediction. It's nice to have data wrangling. Now, data wrangling is sometimes called data munging. Now, this has to do with taking data in its original form and then taming it until it works better in a broader workflow project. Now, to tame here means to make the value consistent with a larger data set, kind of replacing or removing values that might affect analysis or performance in the near future. Alright, so last but not the least, we have data pipeline. Now, data pipeline encompasses how data travels from point A to point B, from collecting to refining, from storage to analysis. So it kind of covers the entire data movement process. Now, I cannot possibly cover every terminologies in the field of data science here, so we are going to provide a link to an article where you can learn more of these terminologies if you are so inclined. Alright, so hope you enjoyed this lesson. I'll see you in the next one.